And I didn't always used to have such a deep level of social anxiety. I remember when maybe I was 5, around that time, it was, easier to talk. I didn't feel that self conscious, that anxious, just like every kid, right? You kind of just say what's out of your mind. And then you go through a phase of really being self aware, knowing how other people treat you, trying to fit in. And it's good. It makes you socialized, it makes you follow laws, it makes you not a nuisance to society. And it's needed. It's an evolutionary thing that is needed for cohesion and communication and healthy proper structures between large groups of individuals. They need to be socialized into some sort of system, so we don't have Jeffrey or Mike shitting in his hand and throwing it at other people, or because they get mad they're just slaughtering other people, or because they get mad they're or sad they like fucking, I don't know, drop a nuke or something. These people, um, and it still does happen. People get mad and they do bad things, but very less than people who get mad or get emotional and can control it and are socialized and know what is good, what is wrong, have morals. And all these things happen through the socialization process. Um, but some people have, like myself, a deep anxiety before talking to a lot of people. And it was something that I had to really consciously get out of my system, because I would be so anxious, so nervous, so scared of how I looked, of scared of making mistakes, scared of standing out. And I also believe that to be my identity. I believe that I'm not a person who stands out. I'm not a person who does this stuff. I was so rooted in my identity of, who I was, being, this person. I didn't do anything different. And that identity was cultivated through all the experiences that I went through. And your identity and, who you view yourself is cultivated by all the things that you went through. If you're going to believe a whole bunch about yourself. I'm quiet. When things get pressure on me, I don't stand up. When this happens, I do this. And you'll believe all this stuff, but all of it is only true because of the way that you were raised and the experiences you went through and how you thought about things. I guarantee you that if I lived the exact same life of you, I would think the exact same things and I would act the exact same way. I do believe that there's a nature and nurture. There's a little bit of nature, just naturally who you are, but 90%, 99% is nature or nurture, how you are raised. If I don't show anybody a bed while they're 40 and they never hear the word bed or know what a bed is, then they're not going to have certain ideas or mindsets that as other people, because they don't know what a bed is. Like something so common, they have no idea what it is. They're going to think so differently about the world compared to the average person. Same thing if that bed was an emotion or an experience. If I've never had certain emotions, or very rarely, or never had certain experiences, or very rarely, I'm not going to have certain mindsets as other people. And so when I was younger, I used to have very negative mindsets about the world. Um, and it came from how I was raised. It was raised in a way that I felt very alienated. I felt very um, different than a lot of other people. And that came from my family dynamic. That came from mainly my family dynamic. I was always different. I had two moms. My mom's brown, my other mom is white, so I've always been in a predominantly white family. All my other, family who are my skin color or my culture live in different countries, either back in Pakistan or England. And so I was never around people who looked like me. And you may seem like it's not that big of a deal, and it's not until it's, consistently called out. It's consistently made a point of who you are as your existence. And so anytime a TV show would come on while I'm watching um, with my family who is white, and I still love them very much. It's just I always felt this disconnect. And when you are with family, and you never have a real connection, you never can really go deeper than just very, very surface level things, can never express yourself. You begin to close yourself off from the world and close yourself off from certain emotions. And you do that over a long enough time, you really become, it's very hard to get those emotions showing back. It's very hard to then express yourself from there. So anytime like a TV show would come on, I would be pointed out if, someone on the channel was brown or had different skin. It was like, oh, there's you. And I was also very quiet. I had a very hard time expressing myself, talking about things I liked. I was very to myself, and that was because I didn't think people would like me. I had a lot of bad experiences with people in the past. And this is like, I would say from, I don't know, maybe like grade 3 to like 17, 19 years old. Very anxious, very to myself, especially in family settings when we went out to different places. At school with my friends, I was a bit more open. But again, I always had this thing about family which held me back from truly expressing certain things. I remember on every single year on Father's Day, I'd be so ashamed of certain things that, it was very hard for me to do the things. I couldn't even make them. I'd put mom, and I'd feel embarrassed. I had two moms, and then people would ask me sometimes, just like, family, what's your dad do? I'd be like, oh, I don't have a dad. And it's like, oh, okay. And I always told people I had a single mom, and I had a brother who was white too. And I always felt so ashamed to call him my brother. Imagine having someone that you live with for years on end, and he's your brother, and you feel ashamed to call him that because you didn't want other people knowing that your parents were gay and that you had such a weird, different life than them. I thought they would bully me, and I was already very self-conscious. I was already kind of scared and timid, and so I knew having something like that constant bullying from other people, I knew I couldn't take it. And so I made up so many stories. I made up so many lies about just ways I could, that, nope, my parents aren't gay. My mom's not gay. And it was really because of the people I hung out with at school, and because my parents did not explain it to me in a way I felt that they were ashamed also of being gay, because they never, I don't know, it was just it wasn't talked about. It was like, they never told us to be proud of it. They never told us that, hey, you may feel certain ways, but it's okay. Everyone's different. There's just not a lot of communication on feelings in that front. It was just, not there. So I'd feel these things, and I would feel extreme anxiety talking about my family or talking to others, to a point where it happened so much over the years that I stopped really opening up. I would have my close friends who I felt comfortable with. But even then, going deeper than just, that banter you have with friends, that unserious talk, if it ever went more deep, I could not go there. People would talk about like families or visiting over at their houses. Nope, couldn't be me. And I always felt so jealous of people like that, who could go over to people's houses, who could talk to other families, who, when they said that they loved their parents so deeply, that they meant it. And I do love my parents, but there was such a disconnect in me feeling a connection between me and family that I never really experienced what it's like to be, truly trust someone, to truly be loved, to truly be that unconditional love, to truly have someone I can rely on. And that goes for a lot of people, a lot of people. And on a degree, of course, on a scale, people have it so much worse, people have it a bit better. But I always remember being so embarrassed, or not embarrassed, so jealous of people who had of people who were fun with their parents, people who could relax and be open and tell them, and could have jokes and laugh with their parents. I was always so jealous of them. I wasn't happy. I was jealous. Why? Because I couldn't do that. It's something I wanted so bad, but I couldn't do it. Um, because that connection was just never built at that time. And you go through a lot of things in your life, and they shape you to thinking. They shape you into the actions that you do, and they form as your ego. Over enough time, you begin to think, oh, this is me. There was times where I would say something to other people, and it was just truly how I thought and felt, and they would give negative reactions back. And totally normal, it's just part of the socialization experience, but if you don't have a good baseline confidence, that stuff can really hurt you. And I remember one time in grade 4, I'd never done this before, but a group of my friends were huddled up, and I went over to them, and I kind of like jumped into the group. I put my arms around them. I was like, "What's up, guys?" And one of the people said, "Shut the fuck up. No one likes you." And I was actually kind of scared I would get that reaction. And it was actually the exact reaction I got from one of the people. And now he wasn't my closest friend, and he's the only one who said it. And he was a kid too. We were kids. It wasn't such a big deal, but something like that has stuck with me to this day. I remember how it was in grade 4, right? And that stuck with me to this day, that if I go up to people that I really like and I express my positivity and how much I love them, I will be met with, "Shut the fuck up, no one likes you," which is it's a big response, bro. Um, that's a big, like, negative reaction to get. And should it mean anything to me at 22 years old? No, and it doesn't. But somewhere deep down in my super, super unconscious mind, that still lives in there, right? I still think about it. It's still in there. I still have that fear of, if I'm super expressive, if I'm positive and I show my love to others, that I will be torn down and destroyed from that. And I left that after that comment. I left the group. I just kind of was like, oh shit, felt really sad. And then I don't even remember what happened afterwards. But something like that can be in your life, where a simple comment, a simple, word by someone who has said something affects you so deeply, so many years later, you don't even understand what's happening because it lives so deep down in your subconscious. And what you need to do, and how I overcame these things, and it's not like I never think about them. They're always going to be there. It's a scar. No Band-Aid can permanently heal a scar, right? It's something that's there forever. It's a reminder. And you have painful physical scars and you have emotional scars. And those emotional scars lead you to having certain mindsets about yourself, beliefs about the world. And if you can't get over them, they will tear your life down. They will make you live in hell in your head. They will make you never want to express yourself, make you never want to just truly relax, be yourself, because you're always having this feeling of inadequacy, feeling of judgment, feeling of, wait a minute, I'm not this cool person. I actually am a loser. That guy said it. And you're letting other people define you, which is, not how anybody's life truly should be lived. It's your life. If you let other people define you, and God, I'm sorry, I'm moving around so much, my legs so asleep. If you let other people define you and dictate everything that you do with your life, you're never going to have this true feeling of confidence, because it's not you. You're never going to have this true feeling of being relaxed, taking in the moment, loving other people, because you just can't. You're so trapped in your head. And I remember people who would be happy, who would be able to express themselves nicely. And when I looked at them, at their more personal life, I would find a couple things. I would find that their parents were pretty good. They're pretty nice parents. I find that they're kind of well off. Not like insane, but like, okay, has a nice house and stuff like that. And the main thing is, I would find that they were good socially, meaning people who were naturally more happy, more joyous, more giving, empathetic, caring, naturally were more social. And this correlation between the two, you'll see it everywhere. A person who is more socially adept, intelligent, knows how to conversate, can be relaxed, doesn't feel such anxiousness, is also a person who is usually giving good energy, good emotions, good vibes. And there's not, 100% correlation, of course, but that's just what I've noticed. There was girls I talked to, guys I talked to, and the guys and girls I talked to who I couldn't relate to these people because they were talking with like no shame of being judged. They were talking with like, yeah, I know I'm good enough. Not in a cocky, arrogant way, but like, I'm okay as a human. I believe I'm a good human. That's how they were talking. I believe like I'm a good human. I was like, what the fuck? Why are you so arrogant? Why do you have this mindset? You don't deserve to have that mindset. And it was me who was hating on these people because like I didn't have that. I was hating on another person because they were happy and positive and I didn't have that, which is a very negative mindset. Very, very negative. And I knew this had to change, and I knew this wasn't the person I wanted to be. So I had to it took 2 years of like very conscious effort, and I'm still working, on this. It's not like it ever goes away. It's not like it ever just like, oh. But conscious effort to get out of my head, to not be so stressed, to not have thoughts of judgment, to say the things I wanted to say. There'd be so many times where I have something in my head I wanted to say, but I was like, I can't say that. That's not me. I can't say that. I'm going to be too nervous. It's already passed. Oh, here's an excuse. And opportunities pass me over and over again. And friendships pass me over and over again. And relationships pass me over and over again. Simply because I was too scared. And because I didn't think I was good enough. As a human being, I did not think I was good enough to interact with other people, which is such a low form of self-esteem. I didn't think I was good enough to interact with other humans. Now, people who were autistic, people who had disabilities, people who were more deemed as outcasts, introverts, people who were more on that side, I could relate to amazingly. And I felt very open, or I felt more open at least, talking to them because I was like, yeah, you guys understand how it is. And that relatability, that understanding, that mutual thing that I felt both of us had made me feel more relaxed, and I felt less like sad when I was with them because I could just be more myself. And a lot of people have this. A lot of people go through childhoods in which it makes them very hard to talk to other people. They have bad thoughts about themselves. And it's whether you know it or you don't know it. And then it's whether, do you want to get better? Do you want to try to improve? The only way I've found that I can improve, that I have improved, is by every day rewiring my thoughts, my mindsets on how I go about things. When I notice that I get angry or I get agitated on things that don't make sense, when I find someone being happy and positive and I get mad, I have to catch myself and be like, this is not who I want to be. This is not who I should be. And I make I make the change in that moment to change my course of action, therefore changing my habit, therefore changing me. Your mindsets are your habits, and your habits are your lifestyle. And if you have mindsets that people are mean to me, people don't like me, I'm not good enough, like I did, And again, it's on a spectrum. Like, people are mean to me like this much. People don't like me this much. It's on the spectrum. But if you have a certain point of that, which is so low that you don't even feel good enough to talking to other people, then the only way that I have found to get better is by going out into the world, putting yourself out there, talking to other people, and while you're in the conversation, while you're doing this, you fill your thoughts with, people are humans. I love humans. We are all human. We are brother and sister. There should be no reason that I feel anxious or hatred towards you. And I can be confident, and I can say things loudly. And if I do, you will like me. And if I do, it will be okay. I will be okay. To express myself, to say the joke I wanted to say, to act in the way that I wanted to act. I'll be okay because that's actually me coming out. And that's what people want. If I hide behind this anxiousness, this cowardness, then people are going to relate to that. They don't want to be around that fake, scared energy. And I was so bad at it that I needed like words to say. I needed what emotions to feel. I needed a lot just to get a positive reaction out of someone else, because I would go up to them and be like, I'd be like, hey, dear. I could barely get the words out. And they'd be like, what? Hell, what? Okay, it's over there. Go away. And I'd be like, fucking idiot, damn it. But then I did it again and again and again. And eventually one of those times I was like, man, fuck, I'm getting the same result over and over again. I have to do something big here. And then I would be like, hey, excuse me, do you know where the washroom is? And I'd be like, yes, I did it. And the other guy would, be like, oh yeah, it's over there. And it would be a better reaction. It would be like, oh, he's giving me, his tone is better, his tone is more friendly, his tone is nicer to me. It's like, okay, I got it. People can like me. People can like me. And then you try more. Do you know where the washroom is? Yeah, it's over there. By the way, that's a nice jacket you got. Yeah, thank you. Where'd you get that jacket? You're going to have a conversation. Then you're like, wait a minute, I can have a conversation and people like me. I can lead a conversation and people like me. I can do all this stuff and people like me. Wait a minute, I think I'm a good human being. And it's very basic things, like having a good interaction, having a good conversation. But you have to understand, I did not have that at all. I did not have that with my family. I did not have that with friends. And it was like that for, like 15 years or something, right? Imagine 15 years you feel this constant stress and anxiety because of who you are. And, you kind of really don't like yourself for all that time. It was very instilled into me. When people came over to my house, anyone came over to my house that were strangers, I would hide under my bed because I could not talk to other humans. I couldn't. I was so scared that they would just like hurt me. Genuinely, I was just so scared I would be hurt. So, a lot of people go through this stuff, and that is how I got myself better. Took a while. It's building blocks. It's failing. It's getting good. Doing good, doing bad, feeling good about yourself, feeling bad about yourself. But over time, if you keep sticking with it, you improve. You get better. You get less anxious. So that has been today's video. Hope you liked it. It was a bit more closer with me, not at the whiteboard. I just wanted to sit down and talk. I don't know if you can hear my cat purring over there. She is going crazy. Anyways, goodbye, guys. You have a wonderful day. I love you all. Peace.